What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Philly Faithful podcast here for an instant reaction episode to Game 1 of the National League Division Series. My name is Troy. I am your host on this podcast. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, give us that 5-star rating so this show can be shown to more Phillies fans just like you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when a new episode just like this one is live. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about in this episode because that was a game. That was a game. That's about the best way I can put it. Zach Wheeler pitched the best game of his career and showed the world on a national stage why he is one of, if not the absolute best pitcher in the sport today, and it's really not close. If he's not number one in the sport today, he is 1A, because that was just absolutely insane. 30 whiffs, 111 pitches, a whole slew of other called strikes, and he pitched his heart out, and he did it in a one-run game. 7 innings scoreless, only 1 hit, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, maybe 4 walks. I don't have anything pulled up. This is just off the dome, ladies and gentlemen. And what he did tonight for the Phillies was just absolutely insane. And the offense not being able to get anything going was not good at all. And I am not taking anything off of the offense, because the offense definitely could have stepped up in a bigger way, but this loss is not on the offense. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said it at least twice this week, and it has come true again. I might have even said it on this morning's episode of the show that I was surprised that Rob Thompson made 2 good decisions in a row. Number one, I didn't, because the lineup didn't come out yet, so I did not say it on the show this morning. But when the lineup came out for today's game, I was surprised that Rob Thompson made 2 good decisions on back-to-back days. That was just absolutely surprising to me. Number one, naming Christopher Sanchez the starter for Game 2 of the National League Division Series. That was a good decision. Good job, Rob Thompson. You made the right call there. Congratulations, you did it. And then you turned around and you did it again. You named Austin Hayes not a starter in the starting lineup for Game 1 of the National League Division Series against a right-handed pitcher. It's about time. Stop trying to force Austin Hayes. It ain't going to work. It's just not, because he cannot hit right-handed pitching. So good job, Rob Thompson, on those 2 decisions. Lightning struck once, and guess what? Lightning struck twice, but it didn't strike a third time. Because when Zach Wheeler left the game in the 7th inning, and let's be honest, he probably should not have pitched the 7th inning. He got his pitch count up to 111 pitches. That's not ideal. That's not good. Don't like that. But he got out of it. And let me back up and touch on something that Lindsay and I talked about a couple weeks ago on the National Pod, First Pitch. The outcome of a situation does not determine whether or not your decision going into that situation was good or not. So, for example, Zach Wheeler pitching the 7th inning, even though it worked out, that does not mean that him pitching the 7th inning was the right decision. He while he was still fantastic against a weak Mets lineup, let's be honest, from the 4th inning on, it was very clear that he was gradually declining in his production, and he was getting more and more wild, throwing more and more balls. He still racked up the swinging strikes. He still racked up the strikeouts. He still held the Mets hitless. But he probably should not have pitched the 7th inning. It worked out. It was not the right decision. The bullpen should have came in the 7th inning. The next wrong decision that Rob Thompson made, and this one did not work out, so it is very clearly the wrong decision, and for some reason, not a soul wants to put it on Rob Thompson. I don't understand the love that people have for Rob Thompson as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, the Phillies went to the World Series in 2022 with him at the helm. Whoop-de freaking do, people. Literally anyone but Joe Girardi could have taken the 2022 Phillies to the World Series. Literally anyone but Joe Girardi or Rob Thompson could have taken the 2023 Phillies to the postseason last year. Literally anyone but Joe Girardi or Rob Thompson could have taken this Phillies team to the postseason this year. And it's going to be Rob Thompson that costs the Phillies the postseason and the World Series in the 2024 postseason, because he is just incapable of doing his job. He's not good at it. I don't understand the love that this man gets on a day in and day out basis. He is not a good manager. There is a reason why he was a bench coach for 30 plus years and never managed at any level, was strictly just a bench coach. And that reason is he's not a manager. He is a nothing more than a clubhouse vibes guy. And that does not work on a World Series contending team. And he has proven it time in, time again, day in and day out. When the time matters the most, he makes the wrong decisions. And he did it again. And it cost the Phillies this game. It was a 1-0 ball game, and it was still very much winnable. But Rob Thompson made the wrong decision at the wrong time. And now the Phillies are going into game 2 with an 0-1 deficit in the National League Division Series against a division rival in the New York Mets, with a pretty big drop-off in pitching talent from Zach Wheeler to Christopher Sanchez. Let's be honest, Christopher Sanchez is still good, but he's no Zach Wheeler. And it's all thanks to Rob Thompson. I don't care that the offense didn't hit. The Phillies had a 1-0 lead. That's all you need. Bring the right guy in out of the bullpen. Guess who's not the right guy? Jeff Hoffman. He struggled in his last few outings in the regular season before the regular season was over. He has been dealing with neck soreness for over a week. It kept him from pitching in the sim game on Wednesday. Why is he the first pitcher out of the bullpen? In what world does that make sense? Literally anyone else coming out of the bullpen as the first relief pitcher in the game in the postseason, and the Phillies win this game. It's not hard, people. He could have went to Kerkering or Strom out of the bullpen first. He should have went to Kerkering or Strom out of the bullpen first, but he didn't. He went to Jeff Hoffman, who has struggled over the last couple of weeks, who has been dealing with neck soreness over the last couple of weeks, who did not pitch in the sim game on Wednesday because of the neck soreness. It's common sense. It doesn't take a genius to make the decision here. My 6-year-old, whose highest level of baseball played is T-ball right now, could know what to do better than Rob Thompson. It's not hard. And then after Jeff Hoffman comes in and just blows the lead, then guess what? Okay, now it's time to bring Matt Strom in. There's none out or one out, something. And there's 2 runners on base in second and third. Now we'll bring Matt Strom in with 2 runners on and in scoring position. That puts Matt Strom in a bad position. What do you expect him to do? He can't give up a hit. All he can do is walk a guy or strike a guy out. If he gives up a hit, an infield hit, scores a run. Like, come on. It's not hard. And then after Matt Strom gives up a couple of runs, then we bring Orion Kerkering in with a runner on first and third and 2 outs. An infield hit scores a run here. Like, what are we doing, man? It's not hard, people. It's really not. And I will never understand the love that Rob Thompson gets from the rest of the fan base. He will never get it from me. He is not a good manager. And if the Phillies don't win the World Series this year, it's on him 100%. I don't care. The offense can go 0 for 27 the next 2 games and be shut out and go home after the National League Division Series. It's on Rob Thompson. You can't have a clubhouse vibes guy with a roster this good. You got to have a manager, not a clubhouse vibes guy. You got guys on the roster that can keep the clubhouse vibes high. You don't need your manager to keep clubhouse vibes high. That's stupid. That is just absolutely ignorant. You need a guy that's going to make the right moves when it's time to make the right moves. And you know when it's time to make the right moves? In the 8th inning, when you're up 1-0 in the National League Division Series at home at Citizens Bank Park. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's just it's infuriating to me that this is the status quo. I mean, it's okay. The offense didn't hit, so it's on them. Bullpen should have pitched better. It's on them. No. The manager should have managed better. It's on him. It's on him. It's not on the offense. It's not on the bullpen. It's not. It's on Rob Thompson because he's absolutely trash at his job. And there's in no way should he be a manager for any team, especially one that could win the World Series. 100% could win the World Series. It's the best roster in baseball. It's the deepest lineup in baseball. It's the deepest pitching rotation in baseball. It's a top 3 bullpen in baseball when used correctly. But guess what? He doesn't use it correctly. So it doesn't help anything when you have all them good relievers at the back end of your bullpen. When you have Jeff Hoffman, Ryan Kerkering, and Matt Strahm, they can only do so much. They can only pitch in the situations that they're put in by the manager. What do you expect? Seriously, like, somebody, please give me an answer because Rob Thompson ain't giving me anything but wrong decisions. That's all he's shown me. I've watched hours upon hours of Philadelphia Phillies baseball just this season alone, just this month alone. Well, not this month. It's October. This is the first game they played this month. In September alone, in August, in July, time and time again, when the Phillies need him to make the right decision the most, he doesn't. He starts Austin Hayes against right-handed pitching because he's an everyday player. He's not. He's not an everyday player. He's good against left-handed pitching. Guess what you don't face every day? Left-handed pitching. You face right-handed pitching every day. So you need your hitters that can hit right-handed pitching in your everyday lineup. You don't need to take Johan Rojas out of the lineup because Austin Hayes needs to play left field, so Brandon Marsh has to play center. Johan Rojas is your best glove. Put him in the 9 hole. Doesn't matter. Doesn't hurt anything. Austin Hayes isn't a good defender. So not only when he plays against right-handed batters do you get a bad hitter against right-handed pitching, you also get bad defense in left field. The worst defensive alignment on the roster is having Austin Hayes in left field because then your corner outfielders are Austin Hayes and Nick Castellanos. Guess who aren't good at being defensive outfielders? Austin Hayes and Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos has had some crazy highlight reel catches, but if you had a better fielder out there, they probably wouldn't be highlight reel catches. They'd probably be routine. Rob Thompson is the reason that this team did not win 105 games this year. Rob Thompson is the reason that if the Phillies don't win the World Series this year, it's Rob Thompson. It's not the offense. It's not the pitching. It's not the bullpen. It's not the bench players. It's not the Mets because they're good. They're not. They're not a playoff team. They're not a World Series team by any means. If they make it to the World Series, the American League wins easily, hands down. All of their hits today were singles. All of them, singles. Every hit they had. And guess what? They did that again on Tuesday. All of their hits on Tuesday were singles. They're not a good team. They're not a good pitching staff. They're not a good lineup. They don't have a good bullpen. The Phillies have all of those things. But the Phillies also have Rob Thompson, and he's what's dragging this team down. And it's infuriating because this team's potential is just so much higher than what they've shown this year. And if they had a different manager, they would reach that potential. And it's not close. It's not. But game 2 is tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe Rob Thompson will make another right decision in his life. He probably won't, though. We'll see. Christopher Sanchez, Luis Severino starting. We'll dive more into the matchups on tomorrow's regularly scheduled morning daily pod. And we'll see what's going to happen in game 2. But after game 1, Rob Thompson strikes again. Thank you for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Philly Faithful Podcast. You can follow the show on Twitter at Philly Faith Pod, spelled just like the show. You can follow me on Twitter at Troy B. Baseball. You can find my writings over on Sports Illustrated. Follow the National Pod, First Pitch. Find it on YouTube and anywhere you get your audio content. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, leave a 5-star rating so the show can be shown to more Phillies fans just like you. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when another episode just like this one goes live. It's crazy. We've had 2 episodes just like this one this week, and this one got even more passionate than the last one. Until that next episode, in about 12 to 14 hours, I've been Troy. You've been awesome. Peace, love, and rock and roll. I'm out. Bye.